Ninjago is a show that has now officially been going for over 14 years, and with every single season, we get one or more new designs for the ninja team. And they have varying levels of quality. Some are good, some are bad, some are maybe just in the middle. But the thing is that every single suit has their fans and every single suit has their haters. And that is the freedom of opinion, and I think it's a very interesting debate to have amongst the fans. So this is a video where I've created a tier list on Tier Maker, which you guys can also do if you would like to. And it is the objective to rank every single Lloyd design from best to worst, and also try my best to keep things relatively calm. Because yes, of course, this is a very opinion-based video, and I want to get ahead of it saying that this is my list. You don't have to agree with my list. That is the freedom of opinion. And hopefully we can keep things nice and civil. And like I said, I did link the tier list that I made myself in the description down below. And if you do make a tier list for yourself, definitely send it on over to me on Blue Sky, because I would definitely like to see what your guys' opinions are on the Lloyd outfits. Also, there are a couple missing because some of them I didn't really feel like fit in. Nothing that's not canon is in here. I also did miss a couple different outfits because I didn't really feel like they compared to ninja suits. There's a couple in here you may wonder why it's in here, but I tried to relatively explain it away. But there's no prison Lloyds, there's no window cleaner Lloyd, there's no pajama Lloyd, because it didn't really feel like they fit in. But the rest of them, I feel like they've earned their spot in some way. Also, I would like to give a shout out to the wiki, of course, because this is where I got the images for every single design variant that I've got on the tier list, and is where I honestly get most of the images that I do actually use. So big ass shout out to them, and also let me know which ninja you would like to see me do next for this type of video, because this was actually really fun. But other than that, let's get into ranking the Lloyd outfits that we've seen over the years. And this is the list in all of its glory, and we've got it in 5 different tiers. We've got best, great, good, okay, and bad. And like I said, this is every single design that I put into this tier list. And if there's any that you do think are missing, let me know in the comments what you think are the ones that should have been on here, and I'll let you know where they landed. But the first one is, of course, the first variant of Lloyd that we did get, which is his Garmadon impression outfit. And I'm going to be honest, this is a great one. The main reason it's great for me is simply because it is just a really nice introduction to Lloyd. It really shows where his head was at the time, and like I said, it emulates what his father was looking like at the time, so I think it's just a really nice one to look at. And honestly, it's just a fun one. Of course, with the subtle foreshadowing as well of the green 5 on the outfit, it does just have a really nice impression, and it did definitely make Lloyd stand out. But I think there's nothing bad you can really say about it. I mean, you can make the argument it's not a ninja suit, but he did wear it for basically all of season 1, and it's got that vibe about it, and I just can't help but love it. The second one is, of course, his younger variant. I will say I'm trying to be a little more brief in my explanations because I don't want to make this video too long. I mean, there's a lot of suits here to go through, but of course the second one is his younger variant, and I'm gonna be honest, it was nearly great, but I think it's only good. I think this is where officially I'm going to get a little bit of flack, but I will say the main reason it comes down to it is, of course, his older variant is just simply a lot better. I think his older variant just has all the better details. I think even though it's just him taller, I think it just has it better. And there is one specific part of the design that I don't really like. And that, of course, is the fact that when he was younger, he never actually used the shoulder pads that we see on his older variant. They were missing. I presume it was because it was meant to demonstrate the fact he wasn't really ready yet. But the thing is that we never saw them on that variant. But the thing is that as soon as he put up the hood, he still had the gunmetal grey crest. And I don't really understand why it was there. I think it would be much better if it was just a plain green hood, similar to the one that Kai has when he's doing the kid's birthday party. But it's one of those ones where I think it would have been another great representation to show that the green ninja suit didn't have all the armor yet, but for some reason they still kept the crest. It was just a really weird one. I just wish it wasn't really there. And honestly, if it wasn't there, it probably would have been great. But that is the reason why it's only good for me. Third up is, of course, then the older variant of the ZX suit, and it of course solves all of the problems that I did actually have with the actual younger variant. And I'm going to be honest, considering how iconic it is, considering how much I do like the outfit in of itself, it's definitely going to be going in best. It just has everything that you want to see in a Lloyd suit. It makes him stand out. Of course, it is the gunmetal grey aesthetic. I think the only other time we actually saw gunmetal grey on a ninja was Nia on the Tournament of Elements Samurai X suit. We never saw it again apart from that. So that kind of uniqueness to it, the fact that it stands out, he's not the same as the other ninja, I really do think it's one of Lloyd's best suits, to the point where it's even in the Lego movie. And I think that kind of just speaks for itself, to be honest. Considering the Lego movie came out like 2 years later, and they didn't use, say, like the Golden Lloyd, for example, I just think it kind of just speaks for itself. What an amazing suit. I absolutely love it, and that's why it's in best. The third one is actually the green variant of the kimono suit, and this is where I might have a bit of a hot take. I actually prefer this variant to the golden variant. I just think I prefer the colors on it, and again, it's going to be in best. It takes all the things I absolutely love about the ZX suit and definitely adds onto it. I love the consistency, the green and the black goes well together. I love the gold crest on the actual hood itself. The gold, the green and the black all go together perfectly. It's not better than the ZX suit, but it's definitely up there, I have to say. But I feel like it's just one of those ones where I just can't help but really like the look of it. I always prefer the in-show design. I always prefer the minifigure. I love the gold, but it was just something about the green, and yeah, it has to go in best for me. This, of course, then means the next one is Golden Lloyd, and I feel like out of principle, it has to be in best, but I also don't really want to. It's somewhere between here. I don't know where. I'm gonna put it in best, but I'm not overly happy about the fact I'm putting it in best, because I feel like these are better, but this is better than this one. I don't know how else to explain it. Of course, at its fundamental core, it is just the kimono suit, and I do really like the kimono suit. That's why it's going to go in best. But in the really strange way, I don't understand why I don't prefer it to the green. I think I do just prefer the green, generally speaking. And of course, I think it's the best golden variant of Lloyd. But I also just think it doesn't really stand up much to the green. I don't know. Maybe it's just me understanding Lloyd as the green ninja and not the golden ninja. But as much as I love it, I don't love it as much as the other ones in a really weird way. This might be where I get some flack for it, but it's fine. But yeah, Gold Lloyd, he is best, but he's not better than the other two. Which then obviously brings us to Rebooted, and I think a lot of people do like this suit, me included. I really like the minifigure. But I don't know. It could be in either one of the two. I'm gonna put it in great for now. Revisions can always happen, but as of now, it's gonna be in great. I honestly believe to an extent the main thing that comes down to is the fact that it hasn't got leg printing. I mean, I would love there to be some sort of leg design, even if it was just a belt. I feel like it is a bit of a missed opportunity to not get some nice leg printing on these minifigures, to the point where people are just putting leg printing on their minifigures. So it's a really strange one, but I really like the rest of it. I think the techno robe in of itself really benefits from shoulder pads. I'm gutted that Lloyd was the only one who got them, but we still got to see what it looked like regardless. But I know a lot of people like this suit, me included, but it's just a weird one, I guess. But it's still great. And then I'm not entirely sure why I put this one in here. It is Astronaut Lloyd. I feel like the best place to put it is okay. I don't really know what else I can really say about it. I mean, of course, it is nice. It's an interesting take. It's obviously a more unique one, of course, being an astronaut variant of Lloyd. But it's a really weird one to judge, to the point where I'm questioning why I even put it in here. But it's still nice. I think it's just because I think it was cool. I think it's a cool concept that the ninja went to space, even though I understand why it probably should have never happened. But at the same time, it did. So we kind of have to judge it based on that. It's nice. Put it that way. It's nice. But it's obviously not really a great one, I guess. I wouldn't really want to see him doing much in the way of ninja moves in this one. But it's still a nice one to have. With then stone armor coming in, and of course, I kind of want to put it at best. But it does suffer from the exact same problem as the techno suit, so it's gonna go in great. It's unfortunate because I really do believe that if the techno and the stone ninja did end up getting some leg printing at the very least, I do think they probably could have been some of the best suits we ever got. I still love the stone armor suits, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like it's a big missing aspect, especially considering how detailed the torsos actually are. You would expect them to have done it. I think that's honestly kind of the best way of putting it, but I don't understand why they never did. But for what it's worth, it's still great, so we'll leave it at that. Tournament Lloyd is one that I love for a very long time, but it's also one that over the course of time, I feel like we've gone a lot of different designs that kind of beat it out, looking at this one to be honest. But I still think it's a good design. I just don't really think it's one I remember all that much. It's just not really a suit that I think of too much when I think of Lloyd outfits. I also think it was kind of outshined by the jungle suits. And it's a bit of a shame because the sleeveless effect was really cool and was definitely unique for the time, and also the nice half mask to go with it. But I just think in the grand scheme of things, other designs have done it better. Especially Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2. And of course we'll get to that. But I really like this one. I think it has got some good stuff, but it's just not up there with the greats. Although, speaking of greats, I mean, we can't not acknowledge this suit. This is possibly the most iconic Ninjago suit that's ever happened. And for that reason, I'm probably going to put it in greats alone, but I also do just like the design in general. It takes, honestly, all the things about the tournament suit and kind of makes it better. I mean, even though it's not sleeveless, it's still a really nice looking suit. It doesn't look overly armored. It looks like a ninja suit. It just looks really cool. It looks kind of tactical almost. It's got knee pads and everything. And I just think it has a really cool looking aesthetic to it. I mean, I don't think this is the best of the jungle suits. I think there are two that I prefer, but I'll get to those hopefully in future ranking videos. But I do still think the Lloyd suit definitely has the presence that it definitely needs to have. And for that reason, it's definitely going to go in the great pile. Although, I think we're going to have to ignore the great pile for just a little longer because we're talking about the Deepstone suits. And there's an argument, but it's not above Kimono. I think this is debatably one of the bigger debates when it comes to the Ninjago community because there's a lot of parallel between Kimono and Deepstone, and I think it comes down to which one you kind of prefer. I know there's a lot of people that prefer the Deepstone suit, but I do think overall I'm still into the Kimono suits more. I think to an extent, if the Deepstone suits didn't have black arms, they probably would have been my favorite suits. But at the same time, I don't think they would have worked with those colourful arms. I don't know, it's a really weird kind of parallel, and I don't really know what to do with it. But all I know is that I definitely prefer Kimono, but the Deepstone suits are still fantastic. I mean, the black shoulder pads, the dual molded hoods, the different kind of details going throughout, I think it has a lot of great for it. I just think the Kimono suits kind of does it, but better. But that then brings us to the next one. Oh, it's the casual Lloyd. Why did I put this one in here? This one is kind of there because he uses it a couple of times. He also uses it in the final battle. He fights Moro in this outfit, which I think kind of entitles it to him alone. I will say, this is the version with and without the fedora. You could kind of use it as either one, but it's still kind of just a good one. I don't really know how else to put it. I honestly kind of prefer the movie design for the casual outfit, which is not here, but at the same time, it's still fine. I mean, it's just nice to have a Lloyd in a casual outfit. I wish we got this specific variant of him in a casual outfit, but we never did. But the thing is, like I said, the movie design does just do it better. I mean, it's a nice thing to see, it's a nice little design overall, but the movie one at least has leg print in, and I think that's honestly the biggest difference of all. And having the hood over the fedora, nice little detail, I have to say. So, I like this one, it's really cool to have. I wish we had a minifigure of it, but honestly, if you want a casual Lloyd, just get the movie one. Although then we have the first version of the Master Lloyd. Of course, this is Garmadon's Season 4 outfit, but this is possibly better than this one. But that's kind of my opinion on that. But I still think this is a great, probably better than Techna, probably here. Yeah, I like this one. Of course, it is just the Garmadon design, and I will talk about that if I ever do a Garmadon video. But Lloyd does look good in the outfit. Obviously, adding the gloves and the Sword of Sanctuary is a really nice finish. But at the same time, it does just kind of make you think of Garmadon. It's a really weird one. Of course, it is just the Garmadon outfit through and through. But at the same time, you kind of have to acknowledge the fact that it was kind of meant to be a Garmadon outfit and not a Lloyd outfit. They probably never intended on Lloyd to wear it, and I'm kind of glad by proxy that they did end up doing their own Master Lloyd outfit. But it's still a nice one. I don't have any major complaints with it, but overall it's still just a great one. It's not up there with the best. But through till Season 6, the Skybound outfit, and I do like the Eijitsu robe. I don't think Lloyd has one of the better looks overall. I do think I still really like it, but I think all the other ninja kind of had better in some way, shape, or form. But I do think he's still a good one, possibly here. I think that's the nicest place I could probably put it without causing too much controversy. I think even though he does have those amazing aspects to him, and I do think it's a really solid design, like I said, I think Zane does it better, Cole does it better, Jay does it better. I probably prefer it to Nia's, but I don't know. I don't really like Nia's one overall anyways. But I do still think this is a good one. But I feel like I'm being a bit too low in comparison to where a lot of other people would put it. But unfortunately, that's just kind of where I put it. I wouldn't really put it next to the great ones. Although where I am putting next to the great ones is going to be the honor robe, because I think having the more classic suit with the modern aesthetic, I think is great. It's probably at the top of great. I can make the argument. I think the fact that this is a modern take on the pilot suit, and a lot of people were able to make a pilot Lloyd because of it, kind of makes it great on its own, but it's still just a really nice clean look. The shoulder pad is nice, the dual molded is also really nice. I just think it has all the best aspects of a pilot suit with that more modernized feel, and I feel like I can't really diss it for that. But at the same time, I understand why some people may question this because it's above the jungle robe of all things, but at the same time, it's my list. I think where I may get into a bit more controversy is the fact that I've got the fusion suit next, and I love the fusion suit, but I don't know where I want to put it. Probably in goods. This might get me in trouble, to be honest with you. And having it in good doesn't mean I think it's bad. I just think all the other suits I would prefer to see Lloyd in over this one. And that's not me being harsh. That's me trying to be as objective as possible, to be honest with you. But I get why I'm probably going to get hate for this one. I love it. The design is great. I think everything about it is great. But I also think the ones in the great category are just simply better. I mean, it's got the nice aspects to it, and I mean, I love the minifigure of it. If you haven't seen my review on the minifigure, definitely check that out. But I just think in the actual show itself, it falls a bit flat. Maybe that's due to the weird Hands of Time animation, but I honestly couldn't really tell you. But yeah, as of now, it's in good. Although this now does take me to the new design of Lloyd, the new green-eyed design. And of course, I haven't gone to Season 8 suit, but with black eyes. I haven't gone that in depth. It's just the suit in general, to be honest with you. Although these two are here, bear in mind. But the Season 8 suit, as much as I don't like the mask, it's a great one, question mark? Probably here. I might get a bit of slack for this one because, yeah, but I really like this design. It might be because of my Season 8 bias, but I think it's a nice simple design. I like the shoulder pad, that they shrunk down the shoulder pad, the Skybound shoulder pad specifically. I like the overall look of it, the flow of the color. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the mask, but that's also my minifigure bias coming in. But I think this design has just got a really nice finish to it. I think it's just a really clean looking Lloyd. I don't know how else to explain it apart from that. I would like to know how you feel about this suit specifically, honestly, because I feel like this is definitely one of the more divisive ones. Although then we get to Hunted, and I will say I have got a soft spot for the Hunted suit, but I can acknowledge that these ones are kind of better. So it's probably going to go top of good. I could see it being next to the fusion suits. I really could. I mean, I love the overall aesthetic. The Woo Crew logo is nice, the amount of dark green. I do really like the Hunted look for the masks. Having the black underside, whereas having the color then above it. I think it's a really interesting modernization, or inverted version at the very least, of the Deep Stone hood. And I think that's honestly one of the best compliments I can give to it. I do think it's a solid looking design. I think it's a solid looking, well, color finish, if anything. But at the same time, it's still the same design that I'm not really the biggest fan of. It's the worst hood that we've ever gotten. I think that is it, bar none. But at the same time, I do still think it's got a really good presence about it. And I think the Season 9 suit is the best of the Hunted suits. So yeah, it has to go good. I kind of wish it was higher, but I'm trying not to be too biased. Although I will say, speaking of simplicity, along with having just a nice finish overall, it's the Season 10, the Legacy Wave 1 version. Fight me. There is simply something about this suit that I adore. I absolutely love the finish of this suit. I think it has so much good about it, and I can't help but absolutely adore it. I wish we got more of it, although you're going to find my next opinion interesting. I just think it has the overall look. I think it has the best feel. I think it's one of the best utilizations of that current version of the mask. And it's ironic because, of course, it was the first time we actually got that mask. But I think it's just one of the best looking styles. And I think the Legacy simplicity really does have that really nice finish to it. It's one of the best. Although then you do get to the child variant. This is obviously from Dragon's Rising, but I did put it here because it is just a legacy outfit. I think this is honestly kind of bad. And you may be wondering how I'm able to go from best to bad in one swoop. And I honestly think it's kind of down to the fact that this design, the only thing I like about it is the fact that it's got the right hair. It's got the green eyes, which has already been established to where Lloyd didn't have green eyes beforehand. I mean, we see shorts that take place on the same time frame, and he doesn't have the green eyes. He also wasn't voiced by Gillian Michaels, which is such a personal complaint and nothing to do with the design, but I can't help but separate my brain from it. And also, just the legacy torso with the short legs just doesn't really flow. In a really strange way, it just looks kind of wrong, to the point where I bought the young Lloyd legacy outfit and just made a young ZX Lloyd instead. I just can't get behind the figure. I really can't, and I can't get behind the design either. There's just nothing really redeemable about it, apart from the fact it finally gave us the right hair. Although then it does lead to the other legacy design, which is the Golden Lloyd design, and it's kind of just okay, I guess. I think the thing that's distracting me about it is the black gloves. I honestly think the black gloves is my issue with it. I mean, I'm looking up at my Legacy Lloyd as we speak, my two golden Legacy Lloyds that I have weirdly displayed next to each other, and they both have the gold hands, and it makes the design flow so much better. I don't know why this one has black gloves. I honestly think if it didn't have black gloves, it would be in top of good, maybe low great. I don't understand why it's like that, but it's there, I guess. But yeah, it's okay. It's just the black gloves for me. But marking the end of the Oni trilogy and getting us into the Wild Brain era, we're going to start with the Season 11 Lloyd, and of course we had this one through till like here. So it's a weird one to think that we have this suit throughout all of these, but there's a reason why it's stuck about, and I do think there's an argument to say it's the top of great. I think for me, it's just, I don't know if it's because we've had it for so long or what, but I do really like this design for Lloyd. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that he's missing his gloves, but honestly, have you ever put black gloves on the actual minifigure design? I have. I mean, I've got a spare Season 11 Lloyd torso. I'll put a shot here of it if I remember to do it. But honestly, it doesn't work with gloves. I don't know if that, again, if that's because I've seen it without gloves for so long, but it just simply doesn't. But I like the design. I like the different color arm. I like the flow of the green with the subtle bits of dark green. I like the hood, obviously just being the legacy hood, but you know how I feel about that. It just looks really cool. I just like this design. I think the design overall just has everything that you want in a Lloyd design. And I think they kind of realized that because of how long we had it for. So yeah, has to be the top of great. I could have argued it as best. Although then you do get its variant, which is of course the Forbidden Spinjitzu variant of Lloyd. And it's okay. I mean, of course, it is just Lloyd with the fiery top. But I feel like the fire effect just kind of looks weird in certain shots. And it's not a design that I'm overly excited about. So it's just okay. I haven't got much of an opinion. Like these suits, I can argue why they're good. This, I can argue why it's bad. These kind of just live in a weird realm of I've got a weird issue with it, and I just kind of leave it there. Or it's an astronaut. But yeah, it's just a design that I just don't really have much of an opinion on. There are certain shots when the fire even just looks weird. I mean, have you seen the fire effect on Wu? I know that's nothing to do with Lloyd, but Lloyd has a certain shot where his hair's on fire, and it just looks weird. The effect's almost clipping through his hair. So I think that just kind of is the put off, but it doesn't make the design bad because it's still the Season 11 Lloyd. But it's strange. It's a really weird one. I would like to know your opinion on that one as well, to be honest. Although I forgot I did put one more Season 11 design in here, is the anime design. I want to do a video on this, the whole anime phase of Ninjago in of itself. Yeah, it's not because it is fundamentally bad, it's just because the Season 11 suit doesn't work, and you can tell it doesn't work because they got rid of his sleeves. And it's just not the Season 11 design. I mean, I couldn't imagine the Season 11 design without the sleeves. It gets rid of all like the brown look on it as well. I just don't think it flows. It just doesn't really work. And I just think in that aesthetic, it just never really flowed like it should have. Honestly, they should have just made whole different outfits. But I just don't like it. And I feel like I share that sentiment with all of the anime variants of the ninja. Maybe apart from Nia. But yeah, I just don't like the Lloyd. Although speaking of not really liking something, I'm not going to put this version of Lloyd in bad. But I can make the argument that it's kind of just okay. No, actually, it's good. It's at the bottom of good. It's at the bottom of good. For me, I think the fact that this version of Lloyd doesn't really hold too much of a special place to me is kind of part of it. I also think the minifigure acts a bit weird. I just think it doesn't really do much. The only thing I really appreciate about this suit is the fact that he wears it during the fight with Avatar Harumi. And I really like that fight. I think that's a fantastic fight. But I just don't really care for the outfit apart from that. I think only 2 of the ninja I actually like the suit for. And I think it just is fine. There's not really much to it. I don't really like the lighter green arm. I don't like the fact he's got 1 white glove, 1 black glove. I just think it's a really weirdly flowing suit. I just don't think it has that much consistency to it. But it's still fine. And of course, like I said, Avatar Harumi fight. Although Avatar Lloyd, this version of him, we can talk. I really like this one. It's at the bottom of great, but it's definitely still great. I think it's just got a really interesting flow. I think the gold arm is quite sick. I think the overall aesthetic's cool, the hair, the details, everything about it. It doesn't look like Lloyd, but that's almost kind of a good thing. I think it just has this really weird flow state that I think I really enjoy. I mean, there are 3 decent Avatar Ninja and there are 3 terrible ones, but I still think it's quite decent to see overall. I said 3, by the way, because I included Detective Zane, or Pink Zane. But the thing is that I think the Lloyd one is just weirdly good. I don't know why it does, but it is. Although, speaking of weirdly good, Hero Lloyd, in terms of a ninja suit, it's here. In terms of my personal enjoyment of it, it's here. It's on par with the Stone Arm and Lloyd. I think, honestly, either of these, this could go either way. I just really like the aesthetic of the Season 13 Ninja. I think the Lloyd looks really cool. The armor's nice. The hood is quite cool to see. I think his weapon was quite cool. Quite a nice little callback to his movie/Season 8 sword. I think it just has all the nice flow that it has. It also, I think, is the only one of the ninja's hero outfits that actually have different leg printing, which is got points in my book for that. But overall, it's just a really nice looking suit. I just think it has all the really cool aesthetics. Like I said, as a ninja suit, bad. Anything else? Great. Island Lloyd is a suit that I think exists in a really weird part in my brain, because some days it will be here, most days it's up here, debatably here. But I think it's probably about here overall. For me, it's a case of the suit just has really nice details, it has a really nice aesthetic. The first time getting the headband ninja, I was actually going to do a video about the headband ninja, but then funnily enough, Krusty did a video about it, and it's really good. I have nothing I can really add to it, so go watch that video if you haven't. But the headband was really nice, it really suited the island design, it flowed really nice, it had a really nice aesthetic. Lloyd in particular looked really cool in this design, and I think they kind of knew it. So I think overall it's just a really cool and consistent design that really does stand out in the grand scheme of things. Although then we do go to Seabound, and in similar vein, as a ninja suit this doesn't work, but overall it's great. As a ninja suit this doesn't work, and overall it's still bad. But it's better than those two, in a really weird way. For me, even when the mask isn't on, I just think it's a really weird looking outfit for Lloyd. He looks like he's wearing a jacket. That's my issue with it. I think he just wears this really strange looking jacket, and I don't really understand why it's there. I just wish that they did something more with it. I wish they just did something better with it. The only thing that really comes out of it is that weird mint scene where he's like, ooh, mint, I love mint. But it's still just a very strange looking outfit, and just one I never really look back on, especially the minifigures. The only Seabound minifigure I kind of like is honestly Nia's, but that's because half the time she's using it outside of the fact that it's actually meant to be a scuba suit. But it's still fine, I guess. but I wouldn't put it next to the okay ones because I've got issues with it. Then it's the black suit Lloyd. This is a very bad image of it, but it's fine. I guess this is an okay. It's the best of the okays. But at the same time, I don't really have much to say about this one. Like, it's a ninja suit, and it's good at being a ninja suit. Fundamentally, it's probably the most ninja of all of these suits. But the thing is that apart from that, there's not really much else. It doesn't really show much of Lloyd, doesn't show his personality. It's just very simple, plain, and I know some people like that, but for me, not really. But it's still just an okay suit because it served a purpose in the story, and it got that purpose done. So I think for that, I will give it that at the very least. Although, we're going from an okay suit to the fugitive suit, and yeah, honestly, we could be looking not a top 3. This feels harsh. This is my top 3. I feel like it's going to end up being. Spoiler. Actually, we'll see. But I like the fugitive suits. I really do. The fugitive suits in general are some of my favorite outfits that we've ever gotten. They're some of my favorite minifigures. They're some of my favorite designs. They look consistent with each other. They've got nice coloring. They've got nice everything about them. The designs are nice. The detailing's nice. It is, in my opinion, possibly one of the best suits we've ever gotten in the show, apart from maybe like a show new, like a couple. But I still think it's got everything in a modern suit that you want. It's like I said, it's got the colors, the consistency, the texture, the mask. It's got everything that you want it to have, but kind of just dialed up to 10. Although then it brings us to the next crystallized design, which is this version of Lloyd, the golden version. That's not the only one. And as much as I like the design, purely down to the fact that it is just Cole's mask, I don't know why they did this. For that reason, I'm putting it in okay. Yeah, good. I think that's the best way to put it. Simply down to the mask. But I feel like I'm definitely going to get some hate because it is above Gold Lloyd. And to that, again, I say it's my list. Like I said, I'm going to continue to say this. It's my list. I mean, it's my opinion. But also, like I said at the start of the video, if you do want to do this tier list and you want to show me what you've got, do this tier list, the link's in the description, and then send it over to me on Blue Sky, because I really want to see where you guys stand on this as well. Like, I physically don't understand why they put Cole's mask on Lloyd. It is literally Cole's mask down to the symbol. But the thing is that they could have just done a Lloyd variant of it. I know some people made the argument that, of course, the focus was meant to be on only Lloyd, but the fact of the matter is that he still needed a decent looking suit. And the fact that the suit is mainly gold, hints of green, and then just a black top of the mask, it makes it look strange. It makes it look off. It's weird. I made a custom minifigure of it for my display, and it does just look strange. I don't know why this exists. Although then you get to the real reason why Crystallize exists, or the crystalline designs exist, of course, Oni Lloyd. I do like Oni Lloyd. I can make the argument he's better than the original Golden Lloyd, just down to the details of him. I mean, the forearms, the purple eyes, the extension of the actual design of the outfit itself, the mask, the horns, everything about it. It's a really cool design. The fact we didn't get this more is kind of beyond me. I really wish we did. They kind of should have done a better minifigure of him as well. Honestly, this is possibly the most underutilized and neglected design in all of Ninjago. I wish we got more of it, but unfortunately we never did, and I don't understand why. But that does then bring us into the Dragon's Rising era of Ninja. And starting off with the core design, I have a lot of back and forth opinions on the core ninja. Honestly, I can't wait to do a video on the core designs alone. But it's somewhere here. I think honestly the best place to put it is probably about there. As much as I like the mask, you know, it's the closest we've gotten to the Wild Brain era design in Dragon's Rising, I will say that. But the colors are okay. I don't like the lighter green. But the mask is fine. The rest of the colors is fine. I don't know how I feel about the legs. The color of the legs more specifically. I don't know. It feels like it's trying to be a more simplistic design like Legacy, but it kind of missed the point at the exact same time. It's just a really weird one. I would love to know your opinion on Core Lloyd, or just the Core Ninja in general. But then we get to, I feel like this is almost a controversial outfit, because it is a very interesting departure, but I like it. I could make... It's not bad. I can make the argument for it to be here. I really could. I like the Dragon's Rising designs. I really do. Now, I initially didn't really like the design of the merged suits, But the longer we've gone along, the more I've realized how much I actually enjoy them. I think it's got a lot of interesting aspects to it, but like I said, in terms of my usual kind of a parameter for what I'm describing as a good suit, color, nice. Consistency, nice. It flows quite nicely. I do wish we got more of that really like bulky looking like cloaked up shoulder pad, but unfortunately we never did. But I feel like it could have been used more, and I don't know why it wasn't. I mean, it's been used with Sora, but I feel like the Ninja could have used it a little more to really flesh out the look of it. But unfortunately, they kind of moved on from it quite quickly, and you'll see how in a moment. But I do like the look overall. I really do. It's grown on me. Although I will say, speaking of growing on me, the mech suit I initially thought I wasn't going to like, but it has very slowly become a really nice outfit to the point where I probably would put it above the merge suits. I mean, I absolutely love the mask. I think these new style of masks, I think it was a really nice one to actually get. I mean, a very shrunken down version of the Wildbrain era shoulder pad, which again was really nice to see, but also just still quite nice to have at the same time. And then the kind of mech metallic kind of look, typically don't really like, and you'll see why in a minute, but I do think it weirdly works for this suit specifically. And I think when all the ninja had the outfit, I think they look great. I can't think of a single ninja that had a bad looking mech suit, but I understand why some people don't like it. I feel like this is another one that people may say about, but overall it's still a nice looking one. And then another one that I initially thought I wasn't gonna like, the climber suit. This has slowly gotten to best. I can't lie. There is something about this suit I really like. The details on it, I really like the amount of like detail. It's simple, but it's effective at the same time. The shoulder pads are nice, the cloaked up scarf, the similar merge mask, but kind of just done better at the same time. Honestly, this takes all the small complaints I had initially about the merge suit and just completely fixed it and made a really nice looking suit at the exact same time. And honestly, it kind of pays off, and I'm glad that we got to see this for longer than we probably were meant to get it. But we are now down to the last three. I feel like this video, I don't know how long this video is, but hopefully it's not too long. I do apologize if it is. The Master Lloyd suit. I feel differently about this suit every time I think about it. I think the best place to put it is probably at the bottom of great. I have some days where I think this suit is absolutely fantastic, and then I have other days where I think this suit is honestly quite bad. I think it would have benefited from the shoulder pads that have got on the sets, but I also think it wouldn't have at the same time. This is a really weird suit. I really don't know how I feel about this suit, but I do think overall it sits in great. But at the same time, I kind of wish we got something a little bit better. I mean, it's better than the first one that we got, put it that way. I do think to an extent it's kind of better than the first Master Lloyd, but I'm more consistently liking the Possession Master Lloyd over this one, so that's why it's a bit underneath it. But the other Lloyd from the Tournament of Sources, the actual tournament suit, is leagues better than the original in my opinion. I love this suit, I'm very nostalgic for this suit, but this one in my opinion does everything about it, but better. I would probably put it here. Dragon's Rising is quite consistent. I just think the suit has a really nice presence. I think it took every single issue I had with the original tournament suits and then the Legacy Wave 2 version and just kind of combined it into this really nice looking outfit. Honestly, a shoulder pad goes a long way, put it that way. I just think it has the consistency, it has the colors, it has everything that you want from a tournament sleeveless outfit really dialed up to the best potential that it actually had. I just think it's good, I really do. And then that does leave us with the last one, which is the Season 3 Part 1 outfit. And I think there's a lot of reasons why this suit is good, but it's probably at the bottom of... I could probably argue it's at the top of good, actually. I just think this outfit does have a lot of interesting things about it, but at the same time, it also kind of just fails in regards. I don't know how I feel about the mask. I don't know how I feel about the overall aesthetic of the suit. I like the shoulder pad. I like the color mostly, apart from the light green hands. But I do think other than that, it's quite alright. It's not bad. It's just not a bad suit. I just think it's probably the worst one we've had so far. I mean, I know we've seen leaks, of course, of the new suit, and I think that one is better. But I do think this one still has a good bit of identity to it. I just think, unfortunately, I just don't know if it makes enough sense as a ninja outfit, because it kind of just doesn't look like one. But yeah, that is every single design. And this is the overall tier list that I've actually done. And like I said, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you outright disagree with any of it. Let me know if you outright agree with any of it. Just let me know. And like I said twice already, make your own version of this tier list. Like I said, the link for it is in the description. And if you want to show me, send it on over on Blue Sky. Because like I said, I would love to see more of these tier lists. And like I said, let me know who you want to see next. And if you want to see more of these videos like this in general. But that is about it for today, guys, and thank you for watching. And definitely, like I said, let me know if you enjoy videos like this. I apologize for the length that it ended up being. Put a reaction to the time of this video below me. I don't know. I'm hoping, there's a number in my head. I'm hoping I'm not over it, but I might end up being it. Who knows? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Okay, bye!